Contact us to avail the combo offer of General Studies and Public Administration optional with 20% discount.
Good morning everyone. Today we are going to have the Hindu analysis of 14th August 2021. Okay, let us see which are the important articles from today's The Hindu newspaper. Yes, these are the important articles. First of all, let us take overview of all these articles, then we will discuss them one by one in detail. First article on page number 6, it talks about the economic growth needs steps beyond reforms. So very good article written by former economic advisor as well as former RBI governor, Mr. Rangarajan. So yes, he is expert in economic field, especially Indian economy, and he is talking about that present need of economic growth needs reforms. Okay, it needs to go beyond the reform system. In first part of the article, it is talking about the new economic policy and the economic reforms that were undertaken in 1991 and the lessons that to be learned from those reforms. The analysis is given about the outcome of those reforms, and second part it talks about the way forward for present need of impetus for the economic growth. Okay, then the second, so this article GS3 paper economy part, then cooperation in maritime security and India's role. So again very good article. Already we are discussing about the 5 principles that are given by our Prime Minister while presiding over that debate regarding cooperation in maritime security. Right, the same context is there, but very good inputs, new additions are given in this article related to India's tradition in the maritime cooperation, or how Indian Ocean has been important traditionally for India, and the kind of, let's say, the principles which are invoked by the Prime Minister, they are to some extent relevant for India's role that is played in Indian Ocean region as well as Pacific, so Indo-Pacific region. So GS2 paper international relations, this is important, we will take input here. Now Taliban gains complicate India's options. Okay, so yes, the page number is not mentioned here, but yes, it is mentioned in 8 or 9 page number. Okay, so it is talking about an increase in number of, let's say, cities captured by the Taliban, and now only the capital is remaining, Kabul. So this is again complicating India's option. Okay, GS2 paper international relations, first 4 concerns are mentioned and 4 options are mentioned by the writer. So we have to understand which are the concerns as well as the options available for India. IR GS2 paper international relations. Then plastic waste management amendment rules 2021, this is important from environment section for GS3 paper mains examination as well as for prelims examination. So single use plastic ban for less than 100 micron mm. So some of the measures are undertaken to phase out such kind of microplastic or plastic by end of 2022. Which are these plastic? Will look into that. At the same time, the article also mentions about the current steps that are undertaken by the Environment Ministry at state level as well as national level for plastic management, plastic waste management. Then COVID-19 related development, Bharat Biotech's BBV154 intranasal vaccine gets nod for phase 2 and 3 trials. So this is good development. This is first of kind intranasal vaccine being developed in India and got approval. So Bharat Biotech's intranasal vaccine. And finally very good captions and quotations mentioned in first 2 articles. We will have a look at that. Directly they can be used in our answers. Yes. So first article, growth needs steps beyond reforms. Okay. So yes, what this particular article is talking. So the economic expert, the writer of this article, he is talking about the economic reforms of 1991 and analysis of the outcome of that reform. And in second part, the present day problem regarding the economic growth, low economic growth, and the way forward is mentioned in the article. So this is the context. First of all, 1991 economic reforms. These economic reforms were undertaken under the background of balance of payment crisis at that time. Okay, balance of payment crisis. So there was wide trade deficit and current account deficit because of that. So because of that reason, what happened is the new measures were undertaken through the new economic policy 1991. Okay, so analysis. So first of all, which were the areas, three important areas where the reforms were undertaken at that time. First of all, regarding the delicensing of industries, requirement of those licensings in Indian economy, so that was removed phase wise. Second thing, the role of state was redesigned. Earlier we can say that the state was actually the participant competitor in the industrial sector, that was reduced, and the role of the state moved to the regulator or the steerer in the economy. So in this manner, and we can say that the private sector given important role in economy. Third aspect we should understand as opening of Indian market for world. Okay, so reducing the trade barriers, this is important reform here, and therefore the Indian economy and world economy was being integrated after these reforms. Okay, so exchange rate reforms were undertaken, all these reforms. So in these three areas the reforms were undertaken. Now we have to analyze the outcome of these reforms. Analysis of the outcome of reforms on three parameters: growth rate, current account deficit, poverty reduction. In the terms of growth rate, surely on an average growth rate of or GDP growth of 8% was achieved, especially from 2005 to 2011 there was 8.7% annual growth rate, annual average growth rate of GDP was there. Then the current account deficit, yes, so when we talk about the current account deficit, we were able to manage this current account deficit. We reduced this current account deficit to the larger extent. We had increased the foreign exchange reserves, and at present these foreign exchange reserves stand up to $621 billion with RBI. Okay, so this is going to ease the tension on current account deficit. So this is a good position that we have achieved in this aspect. Though we can understand that there is merchandise export deficit, or we can say trade deficit, but that is to some extent we can say cancelled out by the surplus in the service exports that we have in India. Fine. But yes, let us talk about the poverty reduction. This is also important objective of economic reforms. And yes, surely after 1991, so if we are talking about the poverty levels, in 1993 it was around 45% in India, and it is reduced to in 2011-12 it is reduced to 21.9% according to Tendulkar Committee formula. Tendulkar Committee formula for poverty line. Okay, so in this manner we should understand, use these facts in your answer. Fine. So whenever we are talking about growth rate, it is improved. Poverty reduction, this is also positive outcome. Current account deficit, this is also positive aspect. But we have to understand that after 2011-12 there is, we can say, decline in poverty reduction rate, and the number of people falling under the poverty line has increased. Why? Because the growth rate declined. Economic growth rate decline, and at present we can see that already because of pandemic there is low economic growth we are witnessing here. So what needs to be done now to boost the economic growth? So the writer is saying that the present problem that our economy is facing is problem of investment, low investment in economy. Both we can say private investment or government expenditure. So due to lack of investment in the economy, what is happening is there is low aggregate demand in the economy. When there is no demand in the economy, then we can say that the production capacities, they are stagnating. There is no incentive to further invest in those we can say aspect. So because of low demand in the economy, this is a kind of cycle. Already low demand, so no incentive for investment. And when there is no investment, we can understand that there will be no increase in aggregate demand. So that's why it is not fueling the economy at present. So what more needs to be done? The writer is giving 3 important points. Way forward, whatever the reforms that were undertaken, they should be continued in the same direction. There should not be reversal in those reforms, the reforms that were undertaken in 1991. Okay, so we can say that the further reforms needed in identified sectors such as financial sector, banking sector reforms especially. Second thing, power sector and governance. So the reforms can be undertaken in these 3 areas. Second aspect it is talking about is we need to have investment in social sector. Investment in social sector, that is, focus should be on health and education. Health and education. And the focus should be not only on quantitative aspect but also qualitative aspect. Okay? And the third important point, the writer is talking about the growth. The focus on growth should go along with equity also. Okay, actually they reinforce each other. Whenever there is economic growth, there can be focus on equity. But when there is low economic growth, the focus cannot be given on equity. So this is how our economic survey, this year's economic survey also says that the focus of the government that should be present on economic growth, boosting economic growth, and later on the focus on equity can be there. So, but yes, that should go in hand, both equity and growth. We cannot separate them. So when the economic growth is there and when the equity is not focused, then the wealth creation concentrates on in the hands of few hands, and the remaining suffer under the poverty line. So economic inequality increases, rich poor divide increases. But this goes against the objectives which are mentioned in Indian Constitution, socialistic objectives that are mentioned in Indian Constitution in preamble as well as DPSPs, directive principles of state policies. So in this manner you can give the way forward. Fine. So very good statement that can be asked directly as a question statement here. Growth and equity must go together. They are truly interdependent. It is only in the environment of high growth equity can be pushed aggressively. So examine the statement. So in this manner you can attempt this question. We have given the way forward also, you can write down that. Fine. Okay. Now moving on to next article. An Indian sailed to navigate the maritime environment. Okay, so here the writer is having the context that PM's address at UNSC debate on cooperation in maritime security. The same 5 principles in the earlier lectures we talked about those 5 principles, how they are relevant to India's tradition, history as well as geography. and the geopolitical aspect, right? So all these we have to discuss here. So maritime tradition and culture that we have since ancient times. Since ancient times, there has been focus on the maritime trade, or we can say that there are some kind of linkages with the other cultures. For example, we can talk about Indus Valley civilization, how it has linkages with the other civilizations 4005 years ago, right? So here you can talk about the Lothal city in Gujarat, which had the dockyard. We found the dockyard in Lothal city, so surely that was having the trade with Mesopotamia. We found that. The second aspect you should talk about here, like during 15th century, Vasco da Gama traveled from Zanzibar to India's western coast, and the sailor, the captain of the, we can say, ship was Indian Gujarati, who shipped him to India's coast. At the same time, you can talk about Hinduism and Buddhism spread to Southeast Asia through maritime route. So these are the example. Even you can say Islam from India spread to southeastern nations like Indonesia through maritime route. Okay, so this is how the traditional and ancient links are there regarding the maritime aspect. Then the relevance of Sagar ideology that was mentioned by our Prime Minister: security and growth for all in the region. This is the doctrine that we follow. Our Prime Minister has given this doctrine, Sagar, and we focus on this particular doctrine whenever we talk about the maritime cooperation. Okay, so how it is relevant? We should understand that 90% of global trade, global maritime trade happens through high seas. So this trade needs to be protected. This trade needs to be protected. We have seen recently how Suez Canal was blocked by that Evergreen ship, and because of that 7-day blockade was created. This affected the global trade significantly. In 1956, when this Suez Canal was nationalized by Egypt, how the global players like UK, France, they intervened at that time. So this shows the importance of global maritime trade and these routes, and therefore the focus should be on this aspect: security and growth for all in the region. This is much relevant, and therefore India has a role to play in this aspect. Now, peaceful settlement of maritime dispute on the basis of international law. This was also one of the 5 principles mentioned by our Prime Minister, and how India plays important role. In 2014, Permanent Court of Arbitration gave award in favor of Bangladesh, largely between India and Bangladesh maritime dispute, and India accepted that and implemented that, and therefore the relationship between India and Bangladesh improved because of that. But in 2016, when this same court, Permanent Court of Arbitration, gave the award in favor of Philippines, the maritime dispute between China and Philippines, so China summarily, we can say that, rejected that award. So this is not good thing. Okay, so the focus should be on solving this dispute on the basis of international law in a peaceful manner. So we can understand that this is also in line with India's traditional ethos of peace and non-violence. Okay, so this is important aspect. and India's role. Then India's role as first responder during natural disaster. So natural disaster, and we can say that the piracy, terrorist activities. So that is again one principle among those 5 principles. What is India's role? Yes, India's role is very important. Indian Coast Guards, they have developed, we can say, expertise both in environmental issues and dealing with piracy, especially in Arabian Sea. The piracy is very dominant in Arabian Sea. So Indian Coast Guard has developed expertise there. At the same time, India's role during tsunami, the relief work during tsunami of 2004, Boxing Day tsunami, we say that 26 December. At the same time, the same is the case when the Mauritius recently faced with oil spill. So India also provided the necessary inputs to deal with such environmental issues and protect the pristine environment, maritime environment of the region. In this manner, India has been the first responder to deal with such natural disasters as well as dealing with threats of piracy here. Fine. So you can write down how India has been playing the proactive role in that aspect. Then one of the principle was development of connectivity and infrastructure. So this is important aspect when we look at China's BRI, Belt and Road Initiative. So maritime Silk Route under this BRI. So this is important initiative of China, but it also affects the sovereignty of the nation. It may also affects the maritime biodiversity, maritime ecosystem, unless and until such kind of investment in the infrastructure is not sustainable and environment friendly. So the other aspect against this China, the similar kind of project, so that is initiated by US, Australia and Japan, that is Blue Dot Network. Blue Dot Network. This is also good initiative. This provides accreditation and standardization to these projects so as to have further investment in those projects. Okay, so remember BRIs of China, and against that US, Australia, Japan initiative recently, Blue Dot Network. In this connectivity and infrastructure in this regard. Now the emphasis in the end, one of the importance is the presidential statement gives emphasis on solving the dispute and all the aspects related to maritime security and cooperation on the basis of international law, and that law at present is United Nations Convention on Law of Seas. United Nations Convention on Law of Seas. So yes, when India is emphasizing at UNSC such debate regarding international law, it will surely have some kind of effect in further signing and ratifying of this convention by all countries. At present, US has not ratified this United Nations Convention on Law of Seas. So yes, surely when US will come forward, China will have some kind of pressure in adherence to this UN Convention on Law of Seas. Fine. So yes, what kind of question we can expect here? Freedom of navigation and unimpeded commerce are key to spread the prosperity. Discuss the role that India can play in this regard. So yes, in terms of freedom of navigation and we can say trade, commerce. So just focus on all these topics we just now talked, where India can play a role in this aspect, regarding piracy, regarding environmental issues, or if we can say peaceful settlement of maritime dispute. At the same time, you can also talk about the infrastructure and connectivity. Fine? Yes. Okay. Now moving on to next article. Taliban gains complicate India's options. Now this is important part, GS2 paper, international relations. We know that the Kandahar, Herat and other important cities of Afghanistan has now under come under Taliban's control, and only the capital Kabul is remaining. So we have to understand that what are the India's concerns, immediate concern and long term concerns. So yes, first of all, let us have a look at concerns and then we'll discuss the options. First and foremost is the security of Indian personnel that are there, like diplomats and the citizens based in Afghanistan. So this is the major concern. If you have look at since last April 2020, in April 2020 last year, we can say that embassies in Herat and Mazar-e-Sharif, they have been closed and all the diplomats were called back at that time. Last month in July 2021, so the embassies in remaining cities, they were closed down, and now the presently only embassy in Kabul is there. Okay, at the same time the embassy has given the stern warning, stern advisory to all the Indian citizens to leave the country, and let's say in India or other such safe locations through the commercial flights. So this is the present situation that we are having regarding this concern. Then terrorist groups could now have more ungoverned spaces to carry out attacks against India. So terrorist groups like Lashkar-e-Taiba or Jaish-e-Mohammed, okay, so such groups, they have been carrying out attacks against India. So now they may have the ungoverned space, or we can say that the Taliban controlled Afghanistan may give safe havens to such terrorist organizations, and that proves threat to India's security in future. Next concern is Taliban's control will also means bigger hand for Pakistani military and intelligence agencies to influence outcome for the Afghanistan, which will mandate a much smaller role for Indian development and infrastructure work in last 20 years, which was appreciated by not only the people of Afghanistan but throughout the world. Okay, so this is undermining of India's support to Afghanistan and Afghanistan government and its people. So this is also important concern. We need to protect that interest that we have investment in development and infrastructure. Then Indian investment in the Chabahar port meant to circumvent Pakistan may become unviable. Why it may become unviable? Because the Taliban control Afghanistan may reroute the trade through Pakistan, and then we can say the Karachi port and Gwadar port, instead of, we can say, earlier the bypassing of Pakistan, and we wanted the trade that should happen through Iran's Chabahar port, and that's why we invested since 2016 we were investing in that Chabahar port development. Okay, so this is also important concern here. So strategic and economic concern, and first the immediate concern about the diplomats and personnel and citizens. Now what are the options available with it? So the writer is saying that we have the 4 options broadly. First of all, continue the support to the elected Afghanistan government, so democratically elected government in Kabul, and providing political and humanitarian support to that government. First thing, this is we are continuously doing at present. The second option is that the more aggressive approach, that along with this humanitarian approach we should also provide the military support. Go further and supply Afghanistan security forces with military supplies, including ammunition and air power, possibly via Iranian route. But already, let's say, Taliban leaders have threatened for the wrong consequences, severe consequences if India do that. Okay, so this is not at all option at present. To accelerate contacts with the Taliban, so this is the one more viable option that we have. And yes, India's diplomats, they have started the back channel diplomacy with the leaders of Taliban, and further such talks should increase with the Taliban for peaceful sharing, power sharing with the elected government in Afghanistan. And finally, India could simply wait and watch until the conflict reveals a winning side and weigh its options accordingly. So this is also good approach, because most of the countries, including China or other US, they are also doing the same thing, because ultimately the dominant party, we can say that stakeholder in Afghanistan, when the winning side will emerge, automatically the diplomatic talks will be started with that stakeholder. Okay, so 3 and 4 should be the focus. Along with that, first is already that we are doing here, but when the winning side will emerge, we have to do we can say have diplomatic ties with winning side also in future. These are the options for India's or Indian government in future, in near future. Yes, more plastic items to be banned. Now this particular article, it is talking about the amendment to the Plastic Waste Management Rules 2016. Okay, so Environment Ministry has notified Plastic Waste Management Amendment Rules 2021, which talks about phasing out or prohibit the specific single-use plastic items which have low utility and high littering potential. We have to phase out, prohibit them by 2022. Okay, so which are these? For example, they include earbuds with plastic sticks, plastic flags, ice cream sticks, thermocol for decoration, plates, cups, cutlery such as forks, spoons, knives, straws. So all these are included in sweet boxes, invitation card and cigarette packets, plastic or PVC banners less than 100 microns and stirrer. So all these small plastic articles generally used in the restaurants, or we can say that the food industry, we can say that is going to be banned. At the same time, however, plastic packaging waste is not yet covered under the phase out of single use plastic. Okay, so plastic packaging waste, so this is not covered, other things are covered. The steps currently being implemented, for example, currently rules prohibit manufacture, import, stocking, distribution, sale and use of carry bags and plastic sheets less than 50 microns in thickness in the country. Okay, less than 50 microns, they are banned. Then waste management infrastructure in the states and union territories was being strengthened through Swachh Bharat mission. So through Swachh Bharat mission also the focus is on plastic waste management. States have been requested for setting up of special task force for elimination of single use plastics, and the coordination among the states is being done at the national level through the national level task force that have been constituted by the Environment Ministry for the effective implementation of Plastic Waste Management Rules 2016. Okay, so you should remember this for prelims as well as GS3 paper mains examination environment section. Yes, intranasal vaccine gets nod for phase 2, phase 3 trials. So it is being developed in India by Bharat Biotech. Name of the vaccine BBV154. It became first of its kind to receive regulatory approval for phase 2 and 3 trials. Okay, so it is an intranasal replication deficient chimpanzee adenovirus SARS-CoV-2 vectored vaccine. The company has in-licensed technology to develop this intranasal vaccine from Washington University, USA. The development of vaccine is supported by DBT, Department of Biotechnology also, and its PSU, Biotechnology Industry Research Assistant Council, BRAC. Okay, so this is important for prelims examination, COVID-19 related developments. Intranasal vaccine, this is going to have some kind of revolutionary impact in vaccination strategy in India, because this is going to have very high level of efficiency in its outcome. Yes, important captions and quotations from these first two articles that we discussed. For example, growth requires more than reforms. Reforms are, in other words of economists, only necessary condition, but it is not sufficient. In a developing economy like India, the final analysis, the growth is driven by investment. The growth is driven by investment. Yes, the reforms are necessary to improve the productivity of the economy and achieve higher growth. So, importance of economic reforms. Then, growth and equity must go together. They are truly interdependent. It is the only and it is only in the environment of high growth equity can be pushed aggressively. Okay, so this statement is very important. Either you can use this directly in essay paper also or even in GS3 paper, because many times inclusive growth and yes, economic inequality, this is very traditional question in GS3 paper, economy part. So write this as a way forward or conclusion. The oceans are common heritage for humankind and lifeline for future of the planet. Very good statement, underlined by our Prime Minister in that we can say debate here. So you can use that in essay whenever we are talking about environment section, or we can say geostrategic essay regarding the maritime security. Then freedom of navigation and unimpeded commerce are key to spread of prosperity. Okay, so whenever the topic is related to maritime security or maritime trade, we are talking about maritime cooperation in GS2 paper IR or even GS3 paper economic aspect, because international trade there can be question, and essay topic also. Those who are having PSI optional, this is important for them also. Fine? Yes. So these were important articles from today's The Hindu newspaper. Thank you.
Contact us to avail the combo offer of General Studies and Public Administration optional with 20% discount.